Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India, India's voice to the world. Well, this is our special presentation on the verdict for Bihar Assembly Elections 2025. The verdict is amongst us all. The National Democratic Alliance, NDA, appears to be headed towards a thumping victory in Bihar. I am Tanvi Taneja. Our top stories at this hour. Bihar's ruling alliance NDA registers historic victory in Bihar Assembly polls. Prime Minister Modi calls it a mandate for development, good governance and social justice. NDA crosses the 200 mark in 243-seat Bihar Assembly. Mahagathbandhan faces major defeat. Samrat Chaudhary of the BJP wins Tarapur. JDU's Anand Singh reigns in Mokama. Tejasvi Prasad Yadav of RJD wins Raghupur in a nail-biting fight. And weakling Congress grows even weaker in 2025, wins 3 seats in Forbesganj, Kishanganj and Manihari, leads in 3 more. So the lotus has bloomed in Bihar once again with the NDA, National Democratic Alliance, sweeping the mandate. The National Democratic Alliance is all set to form government with a decisive victory in the Bihar state elections. NDA is leading over 200 seats out of the 243-seat assembly. The BJP is leading above 90 seats, while its alliance partner, the Janata Dal United, JDU, is leading above 80 constituencies. The trends reflect NDA Alliance's strong organizational presence and coordinated campaign strategy. Adding further weight to the NDA's tally, Chirag Paswan's Lok Janshakti Party, LJP, has taken the lead in 19 seats, while Jitan Ram Manjhi's Hindustani Awam Morcha, HAM, is ahead in 4 seats. While opposition's Grand Alliance, also called the Mahagathbandhan, is merely leading on over 30 seats. RJD, Rashtriya Janata Dal leader and former Bihar Deputy Chief Minister Tejasvi Prasad Yadav won from Raghupur seat in a nail-biting fight. In New Delhi, Prime Minister Narendra Modi addressed the Bharatiya Janata Party workers after the Bihar Assembly election results. A large number of party workers and leaders gathered at the BJP headquarters at the Deen Dayal Upadhyay Marg near the ITO this evening. In his address, Prime Minister Modi said that the people of Bihar have expressed their trust in the NDA-led government and hailed the conduct of free and fair elections.
2 चरण के इस चुनाव में कहीं पर भी रीपोल करने की नौबत नहीं आई। इस बार शांतिपूर्ण मतदान हुआ और इसके लिए मैं चुनाव आयोग, चुनाव से जुड़े हर कर्मचारी, हमारे सुरक्षा बल, बिहार के जागरूक मतदाता सभी का आज अभिनंदन करता हूं।
Prime Minister Narendra Modi also criticized the rulers of the Jungle Raj for destroying the dreams of the youth.
आज बिहार देश के उन राज्यों में है जहां सबसे ज्यादा युवाओं की संख्या है और इसमें हर धर्म, हर जाति के युवा है। उनकी इच्छा, उनकी आकांक्षा और उनके सपनों ने जंगल राज वालों के पुराने सांप्रदायिक माय फॉर्मूले को पूरी तरह ध्वस्त कर दिया है।
Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar also hailed the victory. He expressed his heartfelt gratitude to the people of Bihar for expressing their confidence in the government by giving a massive majority. He also thanked Prime Minister Narendra Modi for his support. He stated that with this mandate, Bihar will progress even further. Senior Congress leaders voiced concern and disappointment, calling for introspection within the party. In Thiruvananthapuram, Congress MP Shashi Tharoor stressed the need for a deeper review of the party's strategy and organisation.
I'm sure that the party has a responsibility to study in detail the causes. But remember, we were not the senior partner in the alliance, and that RJD also has to look carefully at its own performance. But I will say that on a matter like this, it's very important that we look at the totality of our performance. You know, elections are about a number of factors. There is, of course, the popular mood. There is a question of organizational strengths and weaknesses. There is a question of the messaging. A lot of issues which will have to be looked at and to see what went right, what went wrong.
Meanwhile, in Patna, veteran Congress leader Nikhil Kumar admitted that the party's candidate selection may have contributed to the poor performance.
We feel very upset about it. We know that the Congress party's principles, its ideology and its policies, which have shaped this country for 47 years, shows that it is the party which can run a government, and in a manner which is in a truly democratic and secular manner. And the problem is that this is not happening now. There were some differences in our selection of candidates, and perhaps we did not select the best candidates.
And in India's Gautam Roy joins us from Patna now. Gautam, hi. Well, it's been a very hectic day for you. A general observation about the Bihar election results and the resounding victory of the NDA.
Hi, Tanvi. Yes, it has been a long day, but it seems that the kind of result that has come out, the general observation is that it's astonishing, it's unbelievable. No one anticipated that the NDA will perform to such a level that it might cross 200 seats. The exit polls almost all unanimous, giving a majority, some even taking the NDA up to the two-third mark, but it never really was foretold by anyone that such a result could materialize, and that the Mahagathbandhan, or as they like to call themselves, the India Alliance, would fare so badly, that the principal party, which was the single largest party in the current assembly, which is the RJD, will be reduced to 25 odd seats, and the Congress, well, the less said about the Congress's performance, the better. One wonders what happened to the Mahagathbandhan alliance. How did it become this sort of a lose-lose alliance? It seems as if each constituent, instead of strengthening the other, has diminished it. So they have to do a lot of introspection. Tejasvi Yadav, who was once Deputy Chief Minister, will have to think about the kind of legacy that he's carrying, how to turn that around, because that's what the NDA harped upon a lot, that they'll take you back to the days of Jungle Raj, where there was a rampant lawlessness, extortion, and God knows all kinds of criminal activities. Crime was high, and a lot of dissatisfaction was there, which of course brought in, which created the window for the JDU. Nitish Kumar, he at one time had also allied with the RJD, but that alliance also did not last, which is why Tejasvi Yadav's days as Deputy CM were short-numbered. And then, of course, came the BJP along with the JDU, and the JDU became part of the NDA, and from there on, it seems that Nitish Kumar has just not looked back. Already been almost 20 years Chief Minister of the state, and now it seems another 5 years would be guaranteed. It is more or less certain that he will be taking oath, although the date has not been set as yet. Perhaps they're waiting for all the results to come in and then have a discussion, because they will be also having discussions on who will be Deputy Chief Ministers. There were 2 in the previous government. Maybe there might be more from other representatives as well. We'll have to wait and see how that picture really shapes up. But this has been an unprecedented result, and no one really thought that the NDA would do so well, that it will cross 200 mark. That's what seems to be happening right now. If you look at the hit rate, look at the BJP, it contested 101 seats, so did the JDU, and it's delivering 90 plus. So if it was a student, that's more than a 90% result, which is outstanding.
Outstanding. The Bihar 2025 election results reveal a clear pattern. In districts where the share of women voters exceeded that of men, the National Democratic Alliance's vote share is considerably higher than the Mahagathbandhan's. Do you think women have emerged as a separate vote bank here?
Well, I wouldn't say separate, because you cannot bank upon one particular segment of society to deliver a result of this sort, but perhaps the support level has really gone up through the years as well, through election after election. We've seen women creeping up and overtaking the men in terms of turnout, and perhaps the support shifting as well in the favor of the NDA. That is being credited to a large extent. The Prime Minister had come up with an acronym called GYAN, which is Gharib, that is poor, the youth, Yuva, Y, and A is for Annadata, which is the farmers, and N is for Nari, which is woman. So he has earlier also given credit to all segments, and he's talked about a new MY now. Instead of Muslim Yadav, he's talked about Mahila and Yuva, women and youth. So this is a credit which can be shared by all segments of society, because it seems that the NDA and Nitish Kumar, his rule, his tenure has garnered universal support cutting across all kinds of identity and aspirational divisions.
Okay, Gautam. Request you to stay with us as I bring in Sanjay Singh, senior journalist on the show. Welcome, sir. Your thoughts on the resounding victory of the NDA and the dismal, terrible drubbing the RJD has got. Why this unexpectedly bad performance, and what are the lessons for the party, especially as regards its social base?
The sensing realities on the ground, I never had a doubt that BJP, NDA are going to do exceedingly well. The victory would be comfortable, but yes, reaching around the mark that the record that they established in 2010, that was not considered or conceived by or imagined by many people, including me. But it was very clear right from the beginning, at least once the elections were announced and in run-up to before announcement of polls, that RJD, Tejasvi Yadav's performance had peaked in 2020. And there was various reasons for that. But this time around, it was not the same case for RJD, for Tejasvi Yadav, and also for the Congress, because they were misstarters or wrong starters on Vote Adhikar Yatra. Subsequently, Tejasvi Yadav had great, though he has legacy of Lalu Yadav, but at the same time, that is a disadvantage. Tejasvi in his persona did not reflect anything which goes in sync with aspirations of youth in Bihar. Neither they had done anything for women. In fact, on the contrary, the rule was feared by women at large in Bihar and also rest of the people. So that fear of return of Jungle Raj, as Tejasvi Yadav's was sticking to, he personally did not have any credentials. So, but he reducing to say 25. In 2010, RJD was reduced to 22. And his mother, Rabri Devi, had lost from constituency, including from Raghopur, where Tejasvi Yadav is contesting currently. It was going up and down. During the afternoon, he was trailing, but later in the evening, he had picked up. So even then, it was very scary moment for Tejasvi Yadav and rest of the people. All in all, the central message from Bihar election comes that people are willing to vote, and people are not willing to discharge an incumbent if the incumbent is delivering goods to them. In the sense, there is fair and transparent delivery to people at large, particularly to marginal sections of people, all castes, all creeds. The misinformation campaign or disinformation campaign against the government by likes of Rahul Gandhi and Tejasvi Yadav and rest of Alliance Mahagathbandhan, you call it Mahagathbandhan, you call it India Alliance, they actually did not just resonate with the people, but backfired and backfired massively. Rahul Gandhi taking a plunge in pond. Prime Minister Modi talked about just now. While he was taking, he said he is going to kind of drown himself, not just himself, but also his allies. Rahul Gandhi traveling abroad, going to Colombia during peak of election, then going to jungle safari on day of polling, then again vanishing, then talking about things which people at best laugh. So people actually are voting for governance. That's why we see that NDA government are repeating their elections. They are returning to the government in many a state.
Okay, indeed. Yes, Congress needs to do a lot more introspection. Let's dissect the poll results, Sanjay ji, in a bit more detail here. My colleague Amit Mukherjee joins me now with district-wise analysis on the results. Amit, over to you.
Thanks, Tanvi. A historic performance by the NDA-led NDA government in the 2025 Bihar elections. Now, last time in 2020, the NDA alliance managed to bag about 122 seats, but this time it is up. It is set to win around 200 seats this time in Bihar. The figure right now is hovering around 203 mark, and it's quite evident now the figure is going to settle somewhere around the 200 mark because the countings are still on. But interestingly, you know, this election, while we saw great numbers coming up from the NDA side, it also laid the foundation of the new MY formula. In fact, it is now the formula that led to the victory was MY, which stands for Mahila and Yuva, which means the combination of women and youth vote, which led to this resounding return of the Nitish Kumar-led Bihar government. Now let's take a look at, you know, some of the key points, you know, how NDA managed to bag all these numbers. Now let's look at first the important districts. You know, for example, Patna. Patna has about 14 assembly constituencies. Now if you look at this chart, everywhere it's either a BJP or JDU, barring a few seats which went to JDU, which went to the RJD. Now if you look at what happened in 2023, NDA had about 5 seats. Now the figure went up this time by more than 100%, and they have managed to bag about 11 out of the 14 total number of seats in Patna. Now Muzaffarpur, again a very, very important place, important district. NDA was down at about 4 in 2020. Now it's up to 10 in 2025, a fantastic performance. Now Mahagathbandhan, which had about 7 seats in 2020, it has now been reduced to just 1. Again, if you look at Nalanda, of course it has been a very, very strong hold of the NDA alliance. Now last time also it had about 6 seats. Now it has completely wiped out the Mahagathbandhan from that area and left them with absolutely no seats. So out of the 7 seats, NDA has managed to bag all the 7. Gaya, again a very, very important tourism site. It's up there on the international maps as well. NDA had 5 seats in 2020. Again, the performance went up this time, 8 seats. So 10 out of 10 seats, NDA now has 8. Fantastic performance. Again, Darbhanga. Darbhanga is a very, very important seat. Now here, again, Mahagathbandhan has been completely wiped out. Out of 3 seats it had bagged last year, this time it has been reduced to 0. So out of 10, now all the 10 seats are now under the NDA government. Now let's take a look at some of the VIP seats. Of course, Raghavpur was very, very important at some point in time. It seemed that even the CM face of the Mahagathbandhan, which is Tejasvi Yadav, he was actually struggling with numbers. But again, he has managed to win his the Raghavpur constituency. Again, some of
to our correspondent and the guest one final time. Gautam, if you're with me, what's behind Nitish Kumar's continued appeal to the voter of Bihar even after so many years of being in power?
Well, Nitish Kumar stands, first of all, the USP is that he stands in contrast to what the other side represents, which is the RJD, because that's what's been harped about. Nitish Kumar as well, he's had the sobriquet of Sashan Babu for a long time, in contrast to the Jungle Raj. That's the biggest thing The other factor is, of course, the welfarist refrain that he's carried forward, where he's not only transferred 10,000 rupees to the accounts of women, but also increased the amount of pension that goes to the elderly, to the widowed, as well as to the differently abled or the Divyangs. It's gone up every month from 400 rupees to 1,100 rupees. These kind of moves have made Nitish Kumar really stand out. Improvement in law and order, big ticket projects as well that are very, very visible. The Patna Metro as well as double-decker flyover. The announcement, especially with the kind of help he's got from the centre as well, from Prime Minister Modi, the central government, the announcement of the Makhana board, AIMS Darbhanga, all these very visible changes, but at the same time, the kind of outlook that he's had for inclusion as well, for all segments of society, the kind of coalition, because in Bihar it was also said that it is that politics in the state is caste-driven, but he's managed to breach that divide as well, taking it from the backward, the extreme backwards, and then bringing more and more people, and even perhaps it might have been said that at one time Muslims will not vote for the BJP, but it seems this time around, even if the seat has gone to a BJP candidate, the candidate has garnered very wide-ranging support from all segments of society. So it seems that he's transforming the way politics is looked at in Bihar, and that is a very positive takeaway from these elections.
Okay. Sanjay ji, political strategist Prashant Kishore's party has drawn a blank in these elections. What did he not see, and what would you say his party's zero score means for his political future?
See, Prasar Kishore has been cut down to a sorry figure, and he has burnt his hand badly, particularly with the statement that if Nitish Kumar wins 25 seats, he is going to relinquish politics. He would not longer be in politics, and claiming that he is going to give that in writing. Having said so, Prasar Kishore raised some good issues. He talked good things and possibly reflected a vision. But giving consultancy services to somebody else and actually getting into the field and fighting an election are two different things. Prasar Kishore would have learned this lesson at a great cost to himself, to his reputation and to his money also, because he said he put 90 crore of his earning to the party and to his campaign. But Central Prasar Kishore will, whether he remains there or not, that time will tell. Fact remains that in this particular election, you see combination of Prime Minister Modi and Chief Minister Nitish Kumar. Gautam Roy explained beautifully about contrast between Nitish Kumar, what Nitish Kumar represents, and what Mahagathbandhan represents. Look at this situation. Congress has roughly same number of seats as MIM, HAM, and Kushwaha's party. Kushwaha fought on 4 seats, won 4. HAM fought on 6, leading in 5. They're leading 6, presently perhaps 5. So almost 100% strike rate. MIM, OIC's party, is leading in more seats than the Congress, and Congress is hovering between 2 to 5, 6. Currently, I don't know where it is finally going to land. Congress fought 61 seats, RJD 143, and leading or winning in roughly around 25 seats. Chirag Paswan's party is much closer to RJD, fighting 29 and winning around 20 seats. So the dynamics that it suggests, if you are on wrong side, if you are abusive, if you are doing negative politics, even before elections are concluded, you start threatening people. This is the time when positive politics is going to stick in India. Of course, you talk things about you think your opponent is going to do wrong with the people, because during campaign you talk about all those things. But essentially, you have to remain positive. You have to have certain credentials that you are going to deliver, and then only you are going to win elections. The Prime Minister, in his characteristic style, has given further tasks to his cadre, to his partymen, to his sympathizers and supporters, that now look out to Bengal elections. And also, don't forget, he also talked about SIR. So those are very important messages coming from the Prime Minister and from verdict of Bihar Assembly elections. And this is going to resonate. Of course, popular expectation is going to be very high. Somebody coming back to power after being there for 20 years. But more so in a situation when Nitish Kumar's health was is not in his best of health. Last election was not very good election. Thereafter, coming back to power, this kind of mandate is phenomenal achievement for all constituents of NDA.
Okay, Gautam, within the NDA, the BJP has secured 90 seats, the largest in the NDA. A word on BJP's phenomenal showing this time.
Well, yes, it seems that both the NDA, both the main constituents in the NDA, be it the BJP or the JDU, have acted as immense force multipliers for each other, which is why we see such a huge strike rate, as Sanjay mentioned, both for the JDU and for the BJP. The BJP was number 2 in the existing assembly. Now it's going to be number 1. I don't know if that changes the equation where the NDA itself is concerned, because Nitish Kumar, although the BJP initially did not really say that he's the chief ministerial face, the face of the campaign, but later on it seemed that it was made clear that it will be Nitish Kumar. In case the NDA wins, he will return to the chief minister's chair. I doubt if that will change, because that is the kind of scenario that we are faced with here in Bihar, and that is something that perhaps is something that will be finalized in deliberations tomorrow, perhaps, because beyond the chief minister, other things have to be determined as well. There's been a lot of speculation about deputy chief ministers. There were 2 in the previous government. There could be more this time around. Who knows? And of course, then the ministerial berths as well. I'm sure since everybody has done well, each will claim according to the kind of seats that they had delivered, the strike rate that they've had, and it will take some time perhaps to figure it out, a day or 2 or maybe more.
Okay.
But I'm sure things will be put in place, because they know the kind of challenge that lies ahead is taking Bihar to the next level of development. There are visible indications that things are improving, but more needs to be done to ensure that that label of Bihar, that it is a
backward state, will go towards being developed,
and then they contribute. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
On that thought, let's wind our discussion, and I'm going to play a bite of BJP's Maithili Thakur. She has created history in Alinagar. Well, Thakur has become the youngest member of the new Bihar Assembly. Responding to her victory, Maithili said she is ready to meet the high expectations of the people and serve with full dedication.
ये मेरे लिए एक सपने जैसा है, लेकिन जो मैंने 1 महीने से कैंपेन के दौरान महसूस किया है कि लोगों की बहुत ज़्यादा उम्मीदें, आशाएं मुझसे जुड़ी हुई हैं, तो मैं पूरी मजबूती से अपने सभी कर्तव्यों को निभाने के लिए तैयार हूं।
So that's it in this special broadcast of the Bihar Assembly election. Well, the verdict is that NDA has got a thumping victory. Congratulations to the new winners on their poll victories. And of course, as Maithili said, leaders are to work with full dedication for the welfare of the people, because after all, people choose Vikas, development. That's it in this broadcast. News and updates continue on DD India. Thank you for watching. Namaskar.